What do you think? Is Volk okay? After the wrap-up to UFC 294, we had some shocking revelations from Alexander Volkanovski.
I want to say to the UFC, please keep me busy. I don't do well when I'm not fighting. I needed to take this fight because I was doing my head in when I'm not fighting.
I wanted to make this video to discuss it, to get a sense of what you guys are thinking, and to just talk a little bit more about the mental health situation for men in general, but especially for fighters, professional athletes, things of that nature.
Ultimate Punch.
Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the Ultimate Punching channel. My name is Jesse, and today we are going to be talking about Volk's shocking revelation when it comes to his mental health. I'm working really hard on this channel to bring you guys some top-notch MMA content. The only thing I ask in return is if you could smash the like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm, and I really appreciate your help. So as we mentioned, in the post-fight interview, he said he was getting inside his head. During the post-fight press conference, he elaborated.
It's hard for athletes, sorry. I'd struggle with it, but I mean, like, for some reason, when I wasn't fighting or in camp, I needed a fight, and then this opportunity come up, and I'll be honest, I wasn't training as much as I should have, but I thought I had to do it.
And basically said, the accusation that Islam made was that he was doing this just to get money, right? He's doing this just for a pay increase. But what he said was that this is more of a mental struggle for him. And he kind of, brushed it off the way most men do. It's like, oh, why am I complaining, right?
Doing my head in, I don't know how, everything's fine. I've got a beautiful family.
I've got a great family, I've got a great life, I'm world champion, I'm making money, I'm doing all this other type of stuff. But he said that he only feels good when he's in training camp and preparing for a fight. So he wants to fight in December. He took this fight because it had been a while and he's having mental health struggles. And all I have to say about this entire situation, who knows what causes it, right? I'd like to know what you guys think in the comments about what's causing this for Volk or any other professional athlete I might add. Do you think this has to do with maybe CTE? A lot of combat sports athletes, when they, after they've taken a lot of shots to the head, they end up in a situation where, they're feeling like, they start to have mental health struggles, extra anger. It manifests itself in a bunch of different ways, but it could be part of the, CTE, the revelation of a combat sports athlete. Maybe this is something he's been dealing with for his whole life, and that's why he was such a good rugby player. That's why he came in with dogged determination to become, a UFC champion. Maybe that is why he's the best champion, because when he's not in the gym, he's struggling in other aspects and other areas of his life. And the sad reality is that at some point, he's 35 years old, he's probably going to have to hang up those gloves, right? And so the big concern for me would be, what happens, right? So many professional athletes kind of go through this, go through this kind of mental health crisis almost, because now they're known, he is the man. Volkanovski is the man. Even though he lost to Islam yesterday, he's still the man. 145-pound goes and fights the scariest guy in the 155-pound division. Nobody wants to fight. Makes it the hardest fight of his life the first time. The second time, he did have a moral victory in that fight, even though he lost, in the sense that Islam still didn't take him down, right? He didn't, bully him through, clinching and grappling and anything like that. So it's one of these things, like, Volk is the man. And I don't know if it's one of these things where he's just sort of realizing, like, this is so temporary. At some point, I'm going to have to hang it up, and I don't know what I'm going to do with myself at that point. Is it sort of a CTE kind of thing where it's part of the, the head trauma that fighters and boxers and combat sports athletes go through? Or is it something else? We don't know, really. None of us are doctors. I'm only speculating here. But I'd love to know what you guys think. Do you think it's something where, it has to do with maybe any of the damage he's taken? Is it something else? Maybe it's sort of this mental thing where he knows, sort of his time is limited as a professional athlete, right? 35, best in the world. Maybe he's got 5-7 more years as an amazing, UFC champion, as a professional athlete. Most people don't go past 40. There are some, right? We saw Glover Teixeira win the belt when he was 42. There is some, but it's very rare that most people do this, past 40 and are successful, right? And then the other side of it too, and of course, Volk is probably going to be the GOAT of the featherweight division for a long time. Greatest of all time, no question about that. But for so many of the fighters, for so many professional athletes, like once their day is done, they kind of, fade into obscurity, and very few people know who they are. They know their name. They're not relevant anymore. Name 5 boxers from the 90s, right? I can name Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas. There might be a couple others, right? Name boxers from, Muhammad Ali's era. Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, George Foreman. But name anybody else, right? Name one of the pitchers for the Red Sox from 2002. Right? Like you can't do it, because once they're kind of done, they unless they're absolute top, right? They've kind of fade into obscurity. Everybody knows Michael Jordan. Everybody will know Tom Brady. Everybody will know, maybe John Jones or Kobe Bryant, but that's really hard for a lot of athletes when they kind of get to the point where it's like, okay, I'm done, now what? And some of them still do things to like keep themselves relevant and keep themselves around the fight business. You look at DC coming in, commentating, doing his YouTube channel. Volk has his YouTube channels where he can commentate and give his opinion on fights, but it's not the same, right? It's not the same as being in there and being the man, right? So I've kind of rambled on about this for a little while, but I just wanted to give you guys my thoughts. I hope Volk is okay, and it's one of those feelings that I always feel, is that I'm rooting for Islam, rooting for Chimaev, rooting for those are kind of the guys that I like to see win and do well. But whenever they come across somebody who's awesome, it always sucks to see someone lose, right? Like when Chimaev faced Burns, the sad part about it is one of them had to lose, because Burns is an awesome guy, great character. He's a friggin' dog. Like he goes for it, right? With Volk in there with Islam, like I wanted Islam to win, but it just sucks that Volk has to lose, right? Because Volk's a great champion and someone who I've become a fan of. And you see that with kind of other people as well. So my whole thing about saying this, I'm just some random dude on the internet. But bottom line is, first of all, Volk, I hope you're doing okay. I hope you can, get through all of these struggles. I am a fan, and I think you're going to dominate that featherweight division for a really long time. But do what you need to do to take care of your mental health. And I'm just wondering if there are other fighters out there, like if there's a way perhaps for fighters or professional athletes to even get together to kind of discuss some of these mental health issues. And all I can say is, for one of the baddest men on the planet to come out and say that, right? It's, I think it makes it a lot easier for other men to come out and just sort of say, hey, I'm having an issue with my mental health, right? Because look, like the manliest man on the planet, the friggin' featherweight champion of the world, just this badass, tough effort, and he's having mental health issues. It'll make it a lot easier for other men to kind of speak up about it, right? Because we're the ones who, men are the ones who go through these things and nothing ever happens, right? More suicide rates, all of these different type of things. So hope you're okay, Volk. Thank you so much for speaking out about it. And I would just want to know what everybody's thoughts are. If you like this video, like, subscribe, comment. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Thank you.